today we're going to be looking at this. It's an AVerMedia Mini Live Gamer, ideal for capture and streaming. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at this AVerMedia Live Gamer Mini. It is the GC311. A bit of information about the product first. It retails for £109.99p. The Live Gamer Mini is a USB 2.0 micro video capture card designed for beginner streamers and content creators, people that want to give live streaming a shot or maybe just do some basic recording for personal archives. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the packaging. You can see it says AVerMedia along the top. It's got the model number, which is GC311 there. It's the Live Gamer Mini and the game streaming capture box. You've got a picture of the device there. It looks quite small from the actual picture with what looks like a HDMI cable plugged in there and then a device in the corner, so it stands out. One thing to note, it is in a plastic wrap, so this day and age I think manufacturers need to start getting rid of these plastic films on here, obviously save the environment and so forth. Let's have a look at the rest of it. So on the sides you've got the information on there. So it comes with the Live Gamer Mini, you've got a micro USB 2.0 cable and a quick guide. You've also got all your QR codes and bits of information, barcodes on there as well. The side you've got your full specification, and on the back it looks like you've got all your different languages with the basic information on there as well, and on the other side it's basically a mirror of what's on the front. And on the top it says full HD recording, plug and play and hardware encoding. Okay, let's open it up. As I said, it does come with a plastic film over it. These days, save the environment and everything. I think manufacturers need to really stop doing that, because really, if you look at the product inside, I think it actually looks better without the plastic wrap on it. Because you can actually see the reflective corners and stuff like that, which you couldn't see with the plastic wrap. So there's no need for that, in all honesty. Right, let's open the box itself. Can get in there. There we go. Okay, so it's a box within a box. Let's flip it open. There's nothing on the box other than AVerMedia on the top. First thing you see when you open it is the actual device itself. It is quite small, smaller than I was expecting actually, so it lives up to its name, Mini. So that's roughly the size of a business card, obviously a little bit thicker though. Also in the box, nothing else in that bit, you have got your cable, that's your USB cable there. Obviously you've got the micro and standard connection on it. Then you've got all the gumph there about all its safety marks and so on. And then you've got your quick start guide. Front page is in colour. And it looks like, yeah, the whole thing is in colour. So you've got hopefully some basic installation instructions in there. Okay, so let's have a look at the measurements of this item, but first just remember this is valued at £109. That's the recommended retail price in the UK. The cable length, again this is a braided cable, so it's actually a good quality USB cable, this what it comes with. That works out at 1.8 meters long. The box itself works out width wise just over 5 centimeters, maybe 5.5 centimeters. 10 centimeters on the height there, and the depth is roughly 2 centimeters. And if you want to know the size for the actual packaging, there you go. The height of the packaging works out a fraction over 15 centimeters, the width is 21 centimeters, and the depth itself works out at around about 6.5 centimeters. Bear in mind there is no hanger or anything on this box, you have to stick it on a shelf. Okay, let's have a look at the box itself. It's a AVerMedia, as we've said. It's got a pattern across the top. There isn't actually any ventilation parts on there, so it looks like it's just for design. There's nothing on that side, or on that side. On the bottom you've got a bit of information like the barcode on there and so forth, and what model number it is and so on. But on this side you've got your 2 HDMI ports, One would obviously connect up to your monitor itself, and then one to the actual device you're plugging it into, as in you're wanting to stream from. You got your USB connection there. That is what you would plug into your PC or laptop, what you're wanting to do the streaming or capturing on, and so on. Okay, so in usage, let's set this up. So first thing you need to do is download the software ideally. So obviously you can actually use the device. And what you'll need to do is, once you've done that, and it will prompt you to plug in the USB cable in so it can find the device, and it'll ask you what sort of settings you want to do it in, like HD and so forth. It's pretty straightforward. You'll get the program installed and it will look something like that. At the moment it's saying no signal, mainly because obviously nothing's plugged in at the moment. So what you have to do is get the cable what goes from your device, so whether it be a PC, PlayStation, whatever, Xbox, you plug that into the back of the device, into the HDMI in, then you plug your monitor or your TV or whatever device you usually watch your device on into the HDMI out connection. And then it's pretty straightforward from there. You can actually see on the screen at the moment what we would see on the monitor next to it. And I'll just pan out so you can actually see that. Okay, and there you can see what's playing on the Windows PC is playing in this window here. And then it gives you the option, do you want to record it? So you just press record, and it's as simple as that. That is now recording what's going off on that PC. So if you wanted to do something on that PC, whether it's load Steam up or whatever and get a game going, you can do. So let's say, for example, what have we got installed? Not huge amounts, so let's click on Sid Meier's Civilization 6, click on play. And that is now going to be recording, or it still is recording, everything we do. So everything you see on your computer at the moment, or whether it be PlayStation or whatever it is all being recorded. Bear in mind the specs for the PC you're going to be recording this information onto or streaming is pretty high. They recommend for desktop a machine with at least a 3rd generation i5 processor or an AMD A10 CPU, which is quad core, and a NVIDIA GeForce 650 graphics card or equivalent 950X Radeon card with 4GB of memory. If you're running a laptop, they recommend an i7 4810MQ. Including NVIDIA GeForce GTX 870M and 4GB of RAM, but they do recommend 8. But as you can see here, it is recording everything on the screen there. You've seen a duplicate of it there. So that is recording everything we're doing. So whatever you want to do on your computer, it's recording it. So if you want to make a YouTube video or something like that, cut it, paste it, however you want to do it, and get it in Adobe Premiere or Sony Vegas or whatever the newer versions are called these days, you'll be able to go in there and actually edit it and do what you want. So let's have a look. So if I went onto single player, and actually let's just go into the benchmark, probably the best graphics, just to show you. And there we go, and that's running that obviously on that machine what's to the right of the screen over here, which is basically a 9th Gen i5 processor, a GeForce 1060 graphics card, it's got NVMe SSDs and so forth, 16GB of memory and so on. But that doesn't really matter, because whatever the device is and it's got HDMI, it should be able to record it. But bear in mind, it will only record at a maximum of 1080p at 60 frames per second. But as you can see again, it's all there and it shows you exactly what's going on. And what I'll do on screen is actually show you this footage of how it's recorded it. And from what I can see, the colours and the depths and everything look pretty good. It looks pretty much a direct representation of what's on one screen is on the other. Okay, to stop the record, you can just press on the stop button. Okay, if you want to look at what you've recorded or go into the settings, there's sort of like a wheel at the top corner up here. If you hover over each bit, it tells you what's what. They've got a home page, they've got media share, and they've also got your settings. If we go into the media share, I'm guessing that'll show us obviously what we've recorded. So yeah, and you can double click on it. And there you go, and that's playing back the video we've just recorded. And as you can see, the picture quality on there looks absolutely brilliant, in all honesty, for that little device. In the setting area, you've got obviously save path where you can save things. You can enable VSync to improve video smoothness. You've got some shortcuts in there. Social networking accounts, so you can add Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Obviously that's for when you're streaming and stuff like that, so you can share the stuff directly, as well as when you've recorded videos, you can obviously send them directly there if you wished. So if you will then go to the library, which is, or should I say, media share, you click on the video you want to share, you just press share, and then you can see share on YouTube is linked automatically there. So you click that, then you obviously put your account details in and it'll automatically upload it for you. It also tells you on there how big that file is, so that 4-minute video came in at a fraction under 900 megabytes. So that's roughly every 5 minutes you'll be recording just over 1 gigabyte worth of data, again depending on the resolutions and everything you've got it all set up for. Okay, the device itself has different colours on there. Basically solid blue means it is ready, slow flashing red means it's recording, slow flashing blue means it's streaming, fast flashing red means your disk's almost full, flashing blue means it's installing drivers, opening or closing an app or updating the firmware, solid red means the disk is full or there's an error, streaming or recording has stopped, no light means error, device anomaly, which could possibly mean you haven't even got it plugged in. Okay, so if you actually wanted to record from a laptop onto your PC, let's just say you've got a gaming laptop or whatever, and you're playing your games on there and you want to record it onto your PC, which is usually the other way around most people do things, but you can actually do it. You connect the HDMI cable to your laptop straight into the AVerMedia box. You then don't need to connect the AVerMedia box up to a monitor. You just connect it up to your PC with the USB cable. Doing it that way means that the laptop thinks that there's a second screen connected, and that would be obviously the AVerMedia. And what you do is set the second screen up as basically a clone of the first, so it's basically a direct copy. So in most laptops, if you press your function and one of your F keys, it gives you an option to extend it and so forth. I've got it set up for clone or duplicate depending on how you want to class it, and that will allow you to then basically record to your PC without having to connect a separate monitor up to your laptop. So that is all sorted, and then you can go in and play your games and do whatever and record it directly onto your PC. Now on the capture device you can also stream as well, so you can do pretty much what you want, so you can capture or stream directly onto the internet. When you first open the program up, it will prompt you asking you, do you want to capture or stream, and then it will want you to connect up your actual accounts for YouTube, Twitch, or whatever it is you're going to be streaming to. You can actually go into the settings and adjust all your different account settings and everything there if you wish. So everything's on there, so you've got social network accounts, you can add Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You just click add, and then you just go through and add your details in, and it syncs to it, and then you can stream directly onto the internet. If you go back to the capture streaming area. Takes a few seconds. You'll see obviously what you're recording or whatever it may be. So you basically press record. Or obviously if you've got it set up in stream mode, obviously we've not got an account set up, it will then start streaming. You can set it up for multi-screens or single screens. You can add sources to it. So if you press add source, you can add basically a device. And that'll say, do you want to connect to a webcam up? So obviously if you've got a webcam on your laptop or your PC or whatever it is, you can then add a little picture in the bottom from your webcam so it shows your face and so forth. But you can also add other things on there from an AVerMedia, an image, text, and even a web page. So you just type in text, type in what you want it to do. You can say please sub or whatever. Press OK, and there it goes. It puts it on the screen. You can position that wherever you want. So it's ideal if you're obviously on something like YouTube, where you need subscribers for your channel for it to grow. And then obviously if you're using YouTube, you need over 1,000 subs before you start earning money from them, from the revenue from the adverts. There you go, so you can place that wherever you want. If you wanted to add something else on there, you can then add on an image instead. Then you find the image on your computer, press add, and it'll add the image into the corner. And the same goes for videos and everything else like that as well, screen capture and so forth. So you can add whatever you want. You can even add, as it says, web. So you enter the web address. Press OK. Give it a few seconds, and there you go. It pops up with a web browser at the top hand corner, and then you can basically show people. You can enlarge that as well, and so forth. So everyone can see what you want them to see. And obviously you can record this. It doesn't have to be on streaming. You could just do that on capture if you wanted. Or you could add that in later if you are doing capture via your editing software. But as you can see, you can position it wherever you want, but just bear in mind when you are moving it around, it does make this flashing and juddering sort of effect. And then you can disable each of these texts and different things whenever you want. So you could actually add in some preset things, and then every now and again ask people to sub, you just re-enable it. So you just click on the button, press re-enable, and it says please sub, and then when you want the message to go, you can untick it, and so forth. So it's pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. Don't forget to press the subscribe button over here. That way you'll get all the latest news and all the reviews we do on a weekly basis. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.